All right, guys, it's time to get into this. I don't know if you know this, but Myron, apparently for a third time, can't speak, tried to hang out with my friends. And I have a sneaking suspicion it's because another one of his friends was just arrested, I believe by the FBI. I heard an audio with that guy in Meek Mill. It was interesting, if real. And I think Myron is kind of missing out because he enjoys those types of parties. Of course, we're referring to P. Diddler. Or, I mean, I guess Andrew Tate. They have similar charges against them. Anyway, yeah, Myron apparently joined a whites-only Twitter space for a third time. I'm really not understanding the obsession with white people. That's weird. I don't really get it. Just to be clear, they're not actually my friends, guys. Okay? You don't get to choose your family. I'm just kidding. I really don't understand the obsession with wanting to hang out with, one, white people, two, racists. I truly don't understand. In my experience, racisms, people who are racist are very stupid. Okay? And we're not talking about the fun kind of Papa Gut edgy humor. We're talking about people who actually hate other races because they feel like those races are taking away their ability to work. It's like, dude, you're just dumb and poor and stupid. You know what I mean? You're uneducated. Be mad at the government for not educating you because they want you to join the military. I know that sounds silly to say, but it's kind of true. Usually it's, who's going to go into the military? Who's going to... Probably poor people with lack of education and lack of opportunity. I'm just saying. If I was running a country, I would also press my people into joining the military. Anyway, let's watch this. It's from Rashid Crenshaw. Myron joins White's Only Twitter space for a third time. I'm so excited. 3 times! Now that's a charm.
Myron yet again. So Myron yet again.
I really wonder how Walter feels about this. I feel like they might break up over this.
Tries to join a white supremacist space for the third time. Yes, the third time. This is his third attempt to fit in to white nationalist spaces.
That's crazy. I really don't understand. He must have a humiliation kink or something. And since this podcast isn't doing well, he's not having as many people watch, so maybe that's part of it. He's like, oh, nobody's really watching. I gotta go embarrass myself to all the white people. I don't know.
And it didn't go well.
It just feels so good when I go here and get rejected, guys. Oh.
For him is what I've heard. I haven't watched the video yet. I haven't pre-watched it, so I'm going to be watching it with you guys.
All right.
But Myron tries to squeeze his way into their space for a third time.
You know what Myron would be good with? Maybe Myron could go on the Haktua podcast. The greatest podcast. I don't understand why she has a podcast, but people meme it so much. I think that's why she's staying alive. And I think that as long as she just ignores people, she's probably going to be weirdly and surprisingly successful. And it's actually a shocker, to be really honest with you.
I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with him. But it almost seems like he's desperate to be accepted, not just by white people, but by white supremacists, by racists who don't like black people, period.
Yeah, I don't get it.
He needs to be accepted.
Maybe Myron is trying to change. He's be like, you know what, guys? He's doing the, the Daryl Davis. He's doing the Daryl Davis. In all honesty, now that I'm saying it out loud as a joke, that might be part of it. He might want to be like, you know what, I can change them. Because think about it. What is Myron, what is his whole life? It's pathetic, right? He has a Red Pill podcast. Does he even play World of Warcraft while he does reactions? I don't think so. Of course, that's the pinnacle of content creation. No, but I mean, like, what does he really have going for him? He has a Red Pill podcast, which mostly centralizes around jerking off men and to thinking that all the problems in the world is everybody else's fault. Now, there are men's problems, but that's not what it's about. If they take OnlyFans girls, they pull them on there, and they're like, hey, aren't OnlyFans girls, like, not good girlfriends? Like, yeah, no shit. Who the fuck would have thought? And that's the whole podcast, right? So maybe he is actually like, you know what? Maybe I could do something meaningful, and I could get some of these white supremacists to change their mind. I could be, you know what I mean? Like Daryl Davis. Is that his name? Is it Daryl Davis? Or am I thinking of Walking Dead? You guys will correct me in a moment. Anyway, I think that it could be very effective if maybe he gave them a little Haktua.
Accepted by them. For some reason. So let's see what's going on.
I can't believe how quick that was. I can't believe how fast that was.
Can I make this interesting? Can I make this interesting real quick? Myron, you were in MySpace the other day, and I said...
Dude, I haven't been on MySpace in a long time, dude. That's crazy.
You know, you're doing a great job calling out these Jews, but...
Okay. It's just so jarring, dude. I've never felt more like a Jew than when people can make fun of Jews. It's so weird to me. Because, like, I've never really identified with being a Jewish person, other than my mom making fun of me. And she's like, oh, your Jew curls are growing in, because I have, like, long sideburns. And they would get curly when I was younger. Oh, sorry. I had, like, a hair. One of my Jew curls fell down my throat. I actually did swallow. It's going to be really obnoxious to deal with for the next 2 days. Anyway. But now when everybody's like, oh, we hate Jews and all that, it's making me like, oh, man, I'm feeling a little more, identity oriented, unfortunately. It's like you're forcing me to feel some type of way about it. So that stinks.
You know, if we take this country back, we want it for white folks. And would you go home and you said, I was born here and I'm not going anywhere. And this is where I think the problem is with working with non-whites is that once you think you help us, that you're just going to stay in our country. Do you still stand with that answer?
Bro, look, man, I know you're trying to get a clippable moment here for your fucking...
No, it's the truth, man.
I mean, is he trying to get a clippable moment? He might be. I don't know. But, like, it's not like this is a hidden agenda. You're just trying to get a clippable moment, bro. Like... I mean, is that really what it is? Myron, you really think the white supremacist that hates black people is trying to get a clippable moment on the black guy that keeps desperately joining their spaces? Or is that your way that you rationalize somebody asking, it's unreasonable. Their entire worldview is dumb and unreasonable. But considering you're feeding into the worldview, it is reasonable from that perspective. Like, you are literally, like, jerking off that audience on Twitter because, well, that's, first of all, that's, like, really the only audience on Twitter. Because the only people who go on Twitter are, like, legitimately, like, unironically racist. That's why people are leaving the platform that aren't fucking psychopaths. But that's, like, the only people left, and that's the only people left that you can appeal to because, like, nobody takes you seriously anymore. So.
Man, this is the issue with whites working with non-whites.
We're over here talking about a problem, then you...
Well, he's right. This is the issue with a non-white man trying to work with white supremacists.
True. Nick Fuentes.
Let's clarify. Because the white supremacist in this video he says this is the problem with whites working with non-whites. That's not the problem. The problem is non-whites working with white supremacists. And then Myron sits there and says, you're bringing this bullshit up again. No, to be fair.
It's so funny, though. It's so much fun. Like, I really couldn't have imagined a better way to push myself into lolcow status than to be some stupid fuck being a pick-me to white supremacists. Like, how dumb, unaware, and, like, funny. Like, it's just so funny to me. It's just so funny. Like, and then he has to do this to keep his career alive because, again, nobody takes him seriously. He's one step away from being Donovan Sharp. And so he has to do this to maintain any money. He's got to get them to go on there and be like, yep, I'm watching one of the good blacks today. It's fresh and fit. That's his entire thing. He has to do it, but it's just so funny because, like, how fucking stupid are you?
Fair, the white supremacist is right. If they get their America, are you going to go home or not? That is the premise of what these people stand for, and Myron keeps trying to dance around it by pointing the finger at Jewish people, not realizing once that problem is done away with, there has to be a new villain. There has to be a new...
That is a good point. That is a good point. And so, like, here's my thing. I've noticed an influx of homophobia and transphobia and a reduction in racism. And if you think about it, gay dudes are taking pretty hard dick. They're taking that racist dick, metaphorically speaking, of course. You know, they're taking those blows. They're taking those racist blows. They're blowing those racists. They're unifying the different races. And we could all realize, like, oh, look, there is homophobia and transphobia across all colors of the rainbow, whether they are the good ones or also good. What did you think I was going to say? Seems a little inappropriate where your mind was wandering to, sir. Yeah.
New target, and that target is you. Myron seems to think if he takes Jewish people and shoves them in front of him like a human shield, he can somehow, some way wiggle his way into white supremacy's perfect version of America.
Yeah, which is kind of silly because, like, again, I'm a Jewish guy. But I feel like a lot of Jewish guys, they're not really shield worthy. I am. I'm a big guy, but I feel like there's a lot of Jews. Like most Jews are more like Larry David. And I love Larry David. He's a very funny guy. But you know what I mean? Yeah, I haven't heard of a Jewish football player. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And hey, I'm not against it. Okay, I'm just saying. You know, it's interesting.
That will never happen. And Myron needs to stop running away from that reality.
I think that the second largest Jewish person is Ethan Klein, to me. And it's like, I don't know if that's a good shield. You know?
This white supremacist, in all fairness, is confronting him.
They do seem to make really good pagers, though. You know, you got to give them some credit for that one.
With the reality of the ideology that these people possess. When we create our ideal America, you're not supposed to be here. Do you acknowledge that, yes or no?
When we make our ideal America, we will not see you there. You get it? It's a meme. Not see you there. I heard that one on the Hawk 2 podcast.
And now he wants to run away from it. It's like, how are you going to join their space? And then when they confront you with the obvious over and over and over again, you try to obfuscate and delineate from the reality of...
Dude, these words are fucking huge, man. I like to use simple words. I'm a simple man.
Why all of them are there in this Twitter space. Why? Now, personally, I disagree with the white supremacists. I'm not with any of this bullshit. But at some point, you're impeding. Like, bro, let's keep it real. You're impeding in their space.
Yeah, give them their give the white supremacists their safe space. Again, like it's nobody cares that he's going into the white supremacist space. If he was going in there to try to like, you know, start up like a drama with them and like fuck with them, that's fine. It's funny, right? They're dumb white supremacists. But he's in there to be their friend, man. That's pathetic.
Is constantly. You're constantly trying to be around them. They've made it abundantly clear they do not want black people in their country around them, and you just keep forcing your way into a white supremacist space. So honestly, him asking you the question about, okay, like, so when we get our perfect America, like, are you gonna leave or not?
No,
how is he wrong for asking you that? You know what time it is.
You bring it right back into, you know, this whole white thing. Like, dude, shut the
this whole white thing. That's what the whole space is, bud. It's the white space.
This whole white thing is what built this country, Myron.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Hey, you like, fucking sand.
Oh my god, I think he called him a Sandulo N-word. Some people would call it Jason Sandulo. Yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty sure he just called him the N-word.
You sand.
Hey,
I am in Florida. I'm in Florida, and I will knock you out on camera.
All right, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna have violence in the space. It's not even my space.
Ironic that he doesn't want violence in the white supremacist space.
I think Ian's having issues, so like, I'm not gonna allow that in Ian's space.
It's mutual combat.
Ian, come on, man. You can't be white supremacist and your name being Ian.
This is Ian Space. Is Ian Space over here?
Come on, Ian. What's worse? What's next, Jeffrey?
I understand.
That's funny. He calls this man the N-word twice and then threatens to attack him over a disagreement.
Yeah, but outside of the threatening black people and calling them the N-word, they're pretty nice guys. Okay, you got to get to know them first, okay? They're kind of nice guys.
What do they call it? What do the white supremacists call it? Chimping out or whatever? What? It's funny how, like, if you're black and you say, hey, I'll whoop your ass over this disrespect, you're violent, you're an animal, you're blah, blah, blah. But he can do it with impunity, and Myron just has to sit there and take it. And to be honest, again...
Hey, but Myron likes sitting there and taking it. Actually, I hear he's very good at it, too. I hear Walter tells me he's very good at sitting down on top of it and taking it pretty good. You wouldn't even know it was there. It's like a magic trick. It disappears.
I mean, like, they've been patient with Myron. For some reason, he feels comfortable reappearing in their space over and over and over again. Maybe this dude needs to threaten Myron.
Ooh.
For Myron to realize that they're serious. Like, people are going to get mad at me. You're agreeing with the white supremacists? No. But what
we're having a bit of fun. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where, like, listen, guys, we know being racist is bad, right? I think we do. So the focus isn't like, hey, these guys are racist. It's like, yeah, no shit. We already knew that. Now it's more like, wow, are you so stupid for being around those racist people?
What I'm saying is, if they keep making whites-only spaces and you keep...
It's like a baby hanging out with a pit bull. You know, what are you thinking? At what point is it the baby's fault for getting viciously mauled to death? Huh?
Joining, trying to be friends with them, talking about how horrible Jewish people are because...
Hey, thank you so much for another $10 from Pat49er. When it comes to workouts, who do you like, Alan Thrall or Brian Ashrule? Both are absolute dogs when it comes to strongman, by the way. Play some League. Well, I can't play League because I will get very angry. I don't know who Brian Ashland is. I do know who Alan Thrall is. I like him a lot, but I've been on Mike Israetel a lot lately. I can appreciate Dr. Mike. He's a smart guy. And I appreciate, I'm not a bodybuilder or anything. I do like strength training, but I like listening to some of his videos about like, training frequency and different things like that. It's like a fun listen. And he's a funny guy in the background to listen to. And he's also very informed and he's not like an asshole. Like I remember seeing a video that really turned me on to him. It was him dancing naked. No, I remember seeing a video where he was talking about like being fat, and he doesn't talk about being fat as like, oh, you're a worthless piece of shit. He talks about being fat as like, oh, it's like it's a struggle. Like it's, he doesn't like it's not good. He's not like this is amazing, but he talks about it more from like a struggle, almost like a clinical sense. So I really appreciate him when I watch stuff.
For some reason, Myron has beef with Jews. And then when they're like, okay, we've had enough laughing about Jewish people and insulting them. Hey, black guy who's been here with us for the last like 25, 30 minutes. So you're going to leave, right? When we finally have our, Ku Klux America, right? You're leaving, right? No. It's like.
Well, my favorite thing is like, oh, you want to bring it to this white shit. It's like, that's the whole space, man.
What? And it's like Myron sits there and says, I'm born here. It's like, gee, you're like, your parents immigrated here. Like, you're not. Like, you're someone who's a second generation American. They're not hearing any of that I was born here from you at all.
But like, listen, people are listening.
There is no mutual fucking combat. I don't even want to fucking deal with you, bro. Like,
well then why do you
keep going into that space?
Why do you Browns think you could stay in my country? Why?
Look at this fucking guy. Look,
no, it's the truth. You didn't build this country, Myron. You're not from here.
It's so funny. What did you expect to happen, bro?
Address you right now.
You're not from this country. Why do you think you can stay?
Anyway,
it's a point, Myron. Answer.
Well, actually, here's a better point. I'm gonna listen. Here's actually a good. We've been talking about an alliance all night tonight. What's the priority? Do we fight?
Personally, I'm playing Horde.
Jews. We put white people first. What do we do? Listen, free speech on Twitter is an alliance worthy fight, right? Like where we can all come together around the principle of free speech.
Of just hating Jews.
Doesn't matter.
I love this. It's like we've been kind of debating what should we hate, the Jews or what? And now it's like, guys, this is what free speech is about. And isn't that just so funny? Because obviously free speech is not about being as racist as you could possibly be, right? You can do that, but that's not what it's about. But to these guys and to a lot of the free speech people who go free speech, number one, this is what it's about. It's about being as racist and hateful as possible. And also, like, knowing what they're doing. There's a clip going around of Tim Waltz where he says something along the lines that they should make, that maybe they should, like, they make it misinformation illegal. And you have people on Twitter pushing it around like, oh, really? That's a threatening to our freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. If you watch the whole clip, he's talking about misinformation when it comes to intentionally misinforming people of where to vote, which is illegal, and you should be arrested for that because you're trying to make it so that somebody can't vote, which is their literal right to do, right? And so, like, the free speech advocates know what they're doing when they take that out of context. It's because they want their racist little Twitter platform, and that's like the only thing that they think about. They don't really care about actual facts. So
you're black, brown, white, American, African, Muslim, Christian. It doesn't fucking matter. All right. So this is actually a case where everybody should be united around free speech and fight for everybody.
By free speech, they mean hating Jews. So when they say everyone should be united around the mantle of free speech, they mean everybody should form like Voltron to shit on Jewish people. That's exactly what
is this a based alert?
They're trying to say.
I mean, at least if they're shitting on us, that the fires are getting put out, you know what I mean?
Space free speech.
Although, that might be a fertilizer. That might be flammable. I don't know.
Okay. That's it. So turning this discussion about free speech on Twitter into like turning it into a race war in America, it's just out of order. It's
that's what it is, though. It's a dog whistle. It is always. It's like free speech is good. You know, if free speech is being threatened, I would say, hey, this thing is being threatened. We should not do that. It's not being threatened. Okay, just to be clear. It's a dog whistle to be as racist as possible. That's why people love Twitter, because it's the racism platform. They won't get away with making a bunch of memes about like dirty Indian people and shit like that, right? That's the racist. I'm not saying that they are, okay? I gotta be clear, you know, I don't want to get banned, okay? Or like how much they hate Jews or this or that. That's Because most platforms like, yeah, you know what, we don't want that on there because it's just gross and it's bad for advertising. Like, it's, you know, it's not good for advertiser revenue. Most people, so that's what free speech is to them, that people won't pay them for being fucking psychopaths.
He's doing is just race baiting. Like, I'm talking
No,
about
no,
a real
no.
thing
Listen,
here,
Myron.
and he comes
Myron.
in here trying to get a clip or some boots me out
Myron,
of
I'm doing just fine.
chat.
I'm doing just fine,
Boots me
bud.
out of his thing because obviously he's like,
Because you're
oh,
not
well,
white.
I'm not going to go ahead and debate you. I'm just going to boot you out of my fucking
Because you're
thing
not
for
white.
Bro,
Damn.
he keeps telling Myron, bro, you're not white. Why does Myron, like, does Myron know? He knows. He just...
What's funny is that there seems to be a Twitter space full of a lot of people that are, I guess, popular amongst the white supremacists, for whatever that's worth. It's full of those people. And nobody's really defending Myron. So again, is this really about free speech, or is this like, we don't like black people, we'll tolerate him because he's saying what we want to hear? But then when he's getting pushback, we won't really say anything. There's one guy that's like, hey, you really shouldn't be saying that, but there's no meaningful pushback.
just can't accept. He can't accept. He just can't accept. And the dudes...
It is fun that there's like a little coalition of non-white people that love white cum. Nick Fuentes, Nico, Myron, Andrew Tate. They're just desperate for it because it's the only thing that's keeping the bills paid at this point.
Kind of right. It's like, Myron, you're not from the States. Like, you're born here, but like, gee, like, you just don't get it. Like, you have no understanding of what this country actually is like when it comes to white supremacy. You don't.
Me neither, man. Thankfully. You know, I'm not trying to be part of that clique. No, but I don't understand racial oppression. It's weird to me, you know. Just pretend you're white. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get it. You think you can, like, you seem to think somehow, some way you can meritocracy your way into white.
And you're probably like, how do you pretend to be white? Like, you can't change your skin color. True, unless you go to McDonald's and you order a fish sandwich with mayonnaise. It's not bad. Okay? Actually, I don't like mayonnaise.
White supremacy. Through merit and hard work and grit and determination and honesty, you can somehow become a part of white supremacy's perfect version of America. You can't. You can't. You keep joining their spaces to...
Maybe he hopes that he can be like the leader of like the non-whites. You know, they'll be like, well, we're gonna need enough of them to have them do manual labor. And so maybe Myron can be the foreman of the non-white people. You know, a pretty cushy position for a non-white. Of course, I don't agree with this ideology. I have not been thinking about it from an economic infrastructure perspective at all. So don't go there. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
talk about Jewish people, and then when they make it clear to you, hey, Jewish people aren't our only enemy, you're kind of a part of the enemy, you know, are you going to be leaving once this whole, you know, anti-Jewish situation is done? Myron refuses to leave these chats, these spaces. He refuses to leave the United States. It's
exactly,
like, bro,
dude.
you don't get to just sit here and
I wish he would just leave the United States, not from a white supremacist perspective. He's just stupid.
amplify white supremacy. And then when they tell you the truth about what they're actually planning, you sit there and are like just unwilling to accept reality. Like, if you're gonna like be in bed with them and actually associate with them, at least accept and acknowledge exactly what it is you're hanging around. Stop trying to run from this shit. It's cowardly. Like, this dude's racist. The dude calling Myron the N-word is blatantly, clearly racist.
No, obviously, he's just looking for a clippable moment. He's not racist, dude. Come on. You know, these people in Illinois call everything racist. It's crazy.
But off principle, I hate to say it,
Steven from Jenga. Yeah, true.
but it's true. Off principle, he's right. You keep joining our spaces. You keep coming around us. You keep, you know, getting
I bet he wishes he could come around, though.
involved in all of this, right? And we keep telling you we don't want you around. Why are you here? The reality
We're here. We're queer. Get used to it.
is Myron
Put it in my butt.
wants to be friends with the white supremacists. This is the only reason why I'm taking their side in this situation. He wants to be their friend. They keep telling him, you're not our buddy. You're just like our ally for the time being against Jewish people. Once that battle is done, we want you to go away. Myron
Skedaddle, bud.
only wants the let's attack Jews part. He doesn't want the, oh yes, you know, your whiteness.
Guys, can't we just hate the Jews together? Like, come on, man.
I will leave this country. He doesn't want that part. He doesn't want
Come
that
on,
part.
bro.
Not realizing that's a part of the package. You get the whole thing. You don't get to
Yeah, but he wants that whole package. That's the thing.
select which slice you want from the pizza of white supremacy. Like, you don't get to choose.
A nice white slice. A little too salty for my taste.
They choose for you.
Then again, so is the BWC cum Myron's guzzling.
That's how this stuff works. That's how it works. Maybe Myron needs to learn a little bit more about American history for him to understand how this stuff works. Truly. I don't know why they keep letting him into these spaces. For his
It's funny. I mean, maybe Myron's partially right. Maybe whoever this guy is a content creator and he's trying to clip him out. Clip him. I don't know.
sake, for his reputation, for the sake of his pride and ego, they should be
What do you think the conversation with Walter is behind the scenes? Like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck do you keep doing this? You're embarrassing us.
banning him from coming in. At this point, it's just sad.
Banning
It's like
him
I
from
can't even
coming?
be
What the
mad whoever
fuck?
this dude is, because it's like, bro, they done told you multiple times, and you keep impeding, you keep trying to be friends with these people when they've made it abundantly clear they don't want to be friends with you. And it's like, bro, like, they don't even consider you American. They don't consider you, to make it abundantly clear to Myron, I'm infinitely more American than you will ever be, okay?
Damn. That's the biggest insult I can think of, personally. I love America.
Saint Tomian, U.S. Virgin Islander, and I'm
what the
Black
hell that
American.
is.
So on one side of my family, my ancestry can probably be traced probably back to like the beginning stages of this nation's existence, back when it was colonies and not an actual internationally acknowledged state.
Damn. I think I'm like, I don't know what number generation is. I think my grandparents came here. I think they came here. Yeah. So.
These white supremacists, a lot of them, their ancestors came here in the 40s and 30s, 50s.
Yeah.
Came here on boats. Their ancestors came here on boats from Europe. They don't have as much ancestry in this nation as I do, and they consider themselves more American than me.
That's a good point, actually.
Not because their ancestors have been here longer, not because they've contributed more, but because they're white. What do you think they think when they look at someone like you, Myron, whose parents showed up here a generation ago? They don't consider you to even be an American. Why are you aligning yourself with
Hey, but I was born here, dude. I was born here, bro.
people who think like this? They're bad people. They're not good people. They're evil. They literally wake up every day hating.
Well, so I'm pretty sure Myron has, they have like a Jewish manager, right? Didn't they have like that whole thing? They showed him and everything. I don't even think Myron hates Jews. It's all just a fucking, it's a grift, guys. If you're a white supremacist, this guy doesn't actually hate Jews. So you back in the wrong horse, okay? Back in the wrong bosh.
on every Jewish person, every black person ever. Why are you openly okay, if morals can't compel you, then surely self-preservation should compel something within you to distance yourself from these people. Let's wrap this up.
Hey. What does that have to do with anything, dude? I'm not even fucking talking to you right now.
Because you're in my country right now. You're in my country right now. You're an invader.
Nothing to do with you.
You hate the Jews, but at the same time, you are a Jewish bioweapon. You are a Jewish bioweapon.
He's a Jewish bioweapon? I've never heard of a Jewish bioweapon before. That's fucking wild. What the fuck?
White. Shut up.
Yes, I am. My DNA test is out there, Myron.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. You're a fucking Mexican.
You're white. You're cringe.
Shut the fuck up, Jorge. Over here trying to sit there and say, I'm white.
I'm not gonna lie. If you have to put
Wait, is that guy not actually white? Jorge? Is he a Hispanic guy? I mean, I guess that means you're white still, but I mean, the implication when they say white is they separate by more than just skin color. Because again, like, I'm a white Jewish person, but to a white supremacist, I'm not white anymore. So, like, is that the fucking implication there? Like, what the hell?
put out a DNA test, you're probably not white. Like, if you have to like put out the DNA tests, you might not be what you say you are. You know what I'm saying? Because the DNA test implies that you're not your physical.
Well, okay, so just again to be clear, they're saying that it's not like white supremacy isn't about being white anymore. It's about being white and then also not Jewish and not this and not Hispanic and all. It's not just being white. So like that's why he would say he has a DNA test to prove it. I don't know how you would, that's like the argument there. Not that it's right or anything. I'm just saying that's what they're thinking.
Physical appearance isn't convincing enough.
I can't believe how.
Shut up.
Yes, I am. My DNA test is out there, Myron.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. You're a fucking Mexican. Shut the fuck up, Jorge. Over here trying to sit there and say, I'm white.
My DNA test is out there, Myron. Is yours?
And thank you for the $5 from Evander Jones. Watching Dunk on Myron is a good way to spend my birthday. Take $5 and buy an irradiated White Castle burger. Wow, thanks, man. I'll get that. I'll get on that. I'll go buy. I'll hock Tua on that. White Castle Burger. I think the meme is already dead. The meme is dead, guys. I killed the meme in my own chat after a day of ever saying it.
Is
You're
yours,
wearing a
Myron?
sombrero right now. Shut up.
Whoa! You can't say those suspicious character words. Okay.
Shut the fuck up,
Myron,
man.
you are
You're
a non-white
Gotta censor that one.
invader. Thank the
Invader Sim. Pretty peak media, am I right?
All right, that's just unproductive. Like this igniting a race war in this space tonight. HT uncalled.
Tonight? What? Sorry, when you say the word tonight, does that mean that it's somewhat acceptable to have a race war? It was tonight like is tonight like multi-ethnic racism day? Like what's going on here?
For unnecessary. You can have a different space for that. Like earlier, that might have been appropriate, but right now we're talking.
Earlier, that might have been appropriate in this space. Earlier, you're saying it might have been appropriate in that space a little bit, just like a couple hours ago. Wow, what a shocker that this guy feels comfortable being racist in a space that an hour ago it was acceptable to hate black people. But now, no, guys, we're not being guys. Settle down. It's not. Hey. It's not racism time right now here, okay? This is the fun kumbaya get-together time, okay?
About free speech on Twitter. So
this non-white is calling me a Mexican. All right,
bro, you're attacking him too. So listen, like you said, it was mutual combat, but it's over now. We're not.
The funny part is the guy doesn't deny being mutual. A Mexican, and the fact that he keeps.
Well, he does. He said he's all 100% white.
Saying my DNA test compels me to believe he probably is Mexican.
Well, it does to me too, because he feels the need to have a DNA test to settle that issue. That's what makes me think he's probably, Hispanic in some capacity.
Which begs the question: why does someone who's from Mexico, white or not, think that the United States inherently belongs to them?
Because he's probably born in the United States, and he hates minorities because he's a hateful person, like Nick Fuentes, and pretty much it.
The Founding Fathers would have hated Nick Fuentes. The Founding Fathers would have hated whoever this guy is arguing with Myron. It's the truth. The Founding Fathers did not believe all white people were created equal.
Is that a based alert? Or
let's just cover that first and foremost. The Founding Fathers did not believe all white people were created equal.
Yeah, and what did they even find? You know what I mean? The teeth that fell out? Because they did not have very good hygiene.
This whole pan-European movement in which
all jokes aside, I love America. How stupid do you think that the Founding Fathers were? I only say that because people were just dumb back then. The people in general are just stupid. You know what I mean? Because we've gotten more time has gone on, and people have gotten smarter, and all that jazz. How dumb do you think those people really were? If you could go back in time. Because we always make media, we filter it through the lens of our stuff. But those conversations that they were having were probably just fucking gibberish babble. They were getting to good points on accident, But maybe I'm wrong.
Albanians are white and Spaniards are white.
Your average fucking your average IQ 80 Southerner is probably more intelligent than the Founding Fathers are. I don't know.
And Italians are white and Greeks are white. This is a new thing. The Founding Fathers never intended for this to be a Hispanophone or whatever, Hispanic Catholic nation. It was always intended to be an Anglo-Saxon Protestant nation.
Bro, you know what's crazy? Little sidebar. I've been watching Sex and the City with my wife. They use the term WASP and WASPy a lot. That's a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, but they use it like it's a normal, WASP, and it's just well, that's weird to me. I haven't heard that in a while. I haven't heard that, white subdivision identity in such a long time. It's such a bizarre thing. Also, that bitch smokes fucking everywhere. Put the fucking cigarette down. You're at an ice rink,
There are a lot of, Italians were treated like other for a very long time in this country.
Shit, what changed, man? What changed? I'm just kidding.
Because Anglo-Saxon Protestants did not like the idea of Catholics coming here. Did not like the idea of non-Anglo-Saxons coming here. If white nationalists really want to be serious about what the Founding Fathers intended, if you are not of English descent, you need to leave. If you're not,
well, right now they're just fighting the battle. They're going to start with the white skin, and then slowly, it's going to go back to just those extraordinarily ugly people that smile like Charlie Kirk, the Brits. Which is true. I mean, I'm not trying to be fucking rude. There's handsome and ugly people of all races, but Really, British people? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell is going on there, man?
White and of English descent, according to what the founding fathers intended, you need to find your quickest flight to wherever your ancestors are from and book it now. Book it all now. Pack everything up and get ready to go, because if we're going on what the founding fathers intended, I would be in chains, and if you're white and you're non-English, you would be back in Europe where they wanted you.
2 chains. I'd probably be like a baker working around an oven a lot.
So the fact that this dude even has
depends on which side of my family is more powerful, the German or Jewish one,
to like produce a DNA
rather, well, I mean, it's still doing the same job. It just depends on which side of the oven I'm on, I guess.
Test is evidence enough alone that this guy probably isn't convincingly white. And if he is, he probably looks a little bit mixed, which white supremacists do not like mixture. They don't like the debasing of the bloodline, the impurities of indigenous DNA. They don't like that. So that guy should probably find a new community to be a part of. Or just like, I hate to say this, but move back to Mexico. Not because I'm racist, but because if you feel like you're white enough, go to a place where your white skin will actually be acknowledged for what it is. I tell you this much, here in America, you're not going to be seen as white, bro. Not unless you lighten up your skin and do certain things. If you need a DNA test to amplify your whiteness, you're probably not doing a good job of passing for being white. So go to a place where you look white in comparison to everyone else, because I can promise you this.
I'm trying to find the fucking, how the fuck do you get to this place?
Here in America, there are a lot of white people who don't need a DNA test. It's obvious what they are. So, you know, Myron being upset about, you know, this Mexican guy who's like, I guess like 60% white or something or whatever, because apparently he's like clinging on to whiteness by a thread. Myron's hopping in these spaces and constantly trying to fit in, and it's just at some point you're bothering them. You know, like at some point it's just pathetic. And the reason why
don't bother us whites, Myron. What the fuck?
Saying this stuff is because it's pathetic, bro. It's pathetic to watch Myron do this. It's pathetic. It's like, bro, at this point you're bothering them. Go do something else. Wait a minute. This shit looks sad, bro. Why do you want to be around white supremacists so bad? And what is Myron's issue with Jewish people? What have Jewish people done to Myron? As much hate as Myron propagates,
I don't know. They probably I mean, he works with a Jew. Nothing. It's just for the money.
On his channel toward black Americans, and
it's all about the mungie. What the hell is this?
Women. How does he find himself to be in position to dictate what should happen to other groups of people? You are literally a purveyor of hate in this country. This is a dude who speaks poorly about black people all day long.
Yeah, well, he hates his own kind, you know? He hates black people.
Myron, black people in America are whiter than you. You're just Sudanese. The average black...
Sudanese nuts in his mouth. It's not funny.
Black American is like 15% European.
I've been peeing a lot today, personally. Just got the fucking problem, you know?
The average black person in America is whiter than you. Who where are you getting this idea from that you belong more than other people, or that you belong more than Jews, or you belong more than other? I'm not understanding where this is coming from. Needless to say, Myron is deluded. Myron is just completely deluded, completely insane, caught up in this idea of, as long as it's everyone else being...
He just wants friends, guys. He just wants friends.
...thrown under the bus, I should be fine. And it's like, no. Absolutely not. That's not how that works. It's never going to work that way. So... And this will be a recurring theme for all of these non-white conservatives, is eventually he's going to find out that they do not in any way, shape, or form accept you. And the reality is, like, bro, like... In 2017, 2018, the boogeyman of the right wing was, you know, brown Muslim migrants from Africa and Asia.
The way God intended. I'm just being silly.
For some reason, Myron seems to forget that. Like, it wasn't even a decade ago that these people were complaining about people of your ethnic, racial, and religious origin. And now somehow you forgot.
Myron is a nerd that tries hard to be from the popular kids. It might be, that sounds right.
I didn't forget. Y'all remember Save Europe, Save Europe. And it was, you know, pictures of like...
Save them from themselves, man. What the fuck?
Brown dudes like putting their hand on white women and shit.
I watch stuff like that sometimes.
conveniently.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I can't watch it. I only watch white dudes do that because I have, I'm white, so it's like I put myself in that role. You know what I'm saying?
Enough, Myron's just completely forgotten about that era of conservative politics, which wasn't even a full-on decade ago yet. So, definitely a trend of picking and choosing when to be cognizantly aware of what's going on. But
yeah, but if you think about it, I think picking is in his blood. So, sorry, that one might have been a little inappropriate.
But it is what it is.
Oh, it is what it is. Beautiful stuff, brother. Good video.